Hey, out there. I see you out there. All right, I'm just trying to get this going. It's saying that I have a slow connection out there, guys. So that's why I was kind of like lagging a minute there. Checking the settings. Hello, hello. Um, just wanted to make sure everything was good before I started getting going. So if you can hear me good, let me know. Is everything cool? Is it like lagging or anything? I was gonna say, I hope it's not laggy. So, Motion Monday, it's a little concept. It's an idea that I started, I guess, a few weeks ago whenever I was banned from commenting during all the forced password resets during Facebook. So, I was kind of just reinventing myself and looking at different sorts of content because during the time I seen a lot of people posting improper information, just plain bad advice at times, and just like sometimes even fake buys, say fake thrift store finds. And I realized, I mean, AI is going to be a part of our future. And like I said, I know I used it quite a bit, especially for image. I mean, that's really my primary thing, with the graffiti images I was working on. And that was one of the big reasons why, I'm kind of moving forward with trying to like minimize it. While it's always going to be a part of things, there's a time and a place for it. I mean, it has its place in reselling just like it does everywhere else. But, that being said, if you're not going to use it responsibly and you're just making a bunch of false things with it that aren't real, it only goes so far. So with that being said, moving along, some of the things I wanted to do on Motion Monday was pretty much just talk about what happened over the weekend for myself, what I've seen in the community, and kind of just where I'm at. I want to also announce that on Wednesdays I'll be doing another live. It's going to be, this is going to be more of a, just kind of a shorter live, probably 35 minutes. The one on Wednesday is probably going to be a little bit longer. It's going to be with my good friend Jorge, Resale Logic, and we're going to just kind of be we're just kind of be going and talking, about current trends and things like that in the reselling world and what we're personally both doing. He has some exciting things coming up, so do I. It's always best to just stay up on information, current trends, and everything you can with this because, I mean, it changes every day. So, yeah, I'm on too. I'm about to bring him on camera here in a second. So I was trying to catch up on this comment here. Just watched the video. Yeah, you know what they're saying. People like Gary Vee are actually saying it, and I truly believe him. They're saying things like that there's going to be AI influencers that are going to be bigger than any human influencer over the next few years, and I truly believe it with the way it's already happening. But it's really going to be you know what I mean? It's really going to be something that's continuing to be a part of what we're doing on a daily basis. But again, responsibly is the key word there. I don't even really want to use it for my personal stuff anymore. So I did want to mention, I did just buy a couple things recently. So I don't know if the people that seen my post earlier, I did pick up this crazy good picture today that I couldn't believe was just chilling in Goodwill staring at me. And it was still, price tag is still on it. It was $6.29. I probably can't see it on there, but it was only $6.29. It's awesome. Comps are up and down on it. The frame obviously is a little bit bad. It needs a little bit of work. Selling it as is, I'm probably going to list it around 200 and just kind of take offers and go from there. I've been getting a little bit, this is the same Goodwill that I found a Picasso at a couple months ago, and I was really surprised. It was just a print, but it was still, even it was actually a more rare print of the Picasso. And it was Don Quixote, and which is, if you guys know anything about Picasso, it's a drawing on paper and with a marker essentially. And this was a canvas print of it, which is it wasn't meant to be, obviously it wasn't drawn on canvas originally, the original Don Quixote, so it made it a little bit less valuable of a print. But I'm surprised. This is the Goodwill in Weirton, PA, and it's probably one of the best ones that Weirton, West Virginia, right outside of PA. It's one of the best ones that I go to locally out here, and I'm hoping to go high on it. Like I don't know, when you say go high and take offers, what do you mean? 5150? Like, where are we at with that? Like, what would you list it at in this condition? Because I mean, I'd say it's average. You know what I mean? At best, could use a little work. The picture and the paint and everything on it's in pretty good shape, which is kind of why I jumped on it. If it was more damaged, I may have passed. I mean, but it's $6. It's really, so it's really, I mean, that was one of the biggest things I got today. One of my better flips for the weekend was this here mirror, which I didn't ship out yet, and I shipped everything else out, and I'll talk about my weekend sales. This was a surprise one. It came in Sunday night, and it's got some original stamps on it from its original place, and it ended up selling for $230. I paid only $5 for it, and I was really surprised by that one, kind of, but not really. Mid-Century does really well. It's something that I've gotten really when I first started reselling, I was really, into, I wanted to learn mid-century, and it was probably the thing I wanted to learn the most, and it's probably one of the most vast things out there. There's a lot of it's all vast, but mid-century is really just so unique with the different periods, I mean, even between the 60s and 70s, some of the styles are crazy. And right now, they're obviously at an all-time high, so there's really no surprise that it went for $230. Maybe a little bit because it's not the biggest mirror in the world, but it's not the first time I've been surprised on something like that either. It's kind of crazy. Like, the more you do this, the more you evolve into different sorts of things. Like, when I first started doing it, I wasn't even looking at mirrors, and I looked there every day. That's how I found that picture today. I was over in the mirror section, and I just walked right by it, and I seen it immediately. And the green face is something that I remembered from my childhood. Like, my mom's best friend had it growing up, and I always remember seeing it because I was scared of it as a kid. And I remember the lady always telling me the story of the artist, and it just stuck with you. It's one of them weird things, and then you see it, and then you're just like, psh, it's crazy, Some of the other things I got recently, though, and this I'm actually excited to try. I was going to use it for this live, and I didn't. I just have it on a mount. But I'm probably going to make some more videos with this. This is like a crazy thing. I found it on TikTok Shop, which this is only the second or third thing I personally bought off of it. But this thing steadies your camera as you go, and it's pretty crazy. And so, like, it allows you to get live shots, and it actually has a detachable remote on. It's one of the craziest things that I've ever seen on TikTok Shop. So I'm excited to try that for content. I'll let you guys know how that goes moving forward. It has like a little built-in stand in it. So that's something, like, I'm kind of going all in on this live content creation, and that's what that's about right here. And the whole purpose of me showing that isn't to sell it or anything like that. It's really just to show you guys some cool things that I'm using. I was also going to use this. I bought microphones too, but I hope you guys, it seems like you guys could hear me pretty good. How much does what cost? This is a Hohem gimbal is what they're called. I never heard of them until a couple weeks ago. And, I think I paid $51 for it with free shipping on TikTok Shop. And like I said, it's like the second thing I've ever bought. The first one would be the camera that I've used in the store, and it's like a magnetic camera. And I don't even think I have that handy because I'm not here to sell something to anybody, But again, anything that you guys may want to use, I don't know how serious people are. You guys are all about with making in like live content and whatnot, which is something for me. I've never been. I've been against this movement. Listen, for the last hour, I'm like, how can I get out of this? But I can't, because for what I want to do, and I want to teach, and I want to share the things that I'm doing, what's working for me. Because for me, doing this is more than anything, because I get to watch my daughter every day. I mean, that's why I keep looking to the left. I'm just checking she's going to get into the shower soon. But But you know what I mean? She's like my everything, and being able to be here every day and be a part of her life and seeing everything. I mean, it's a true blessing. And if it wasn't for reselling, I wouldn't be able to do it. So any little tidbit I can share with anybody that will help them, you know what I mean? And no matter what, you guys will see one of these things one of these days. I really believe it. This right here is one. A lot of people would have passed on this right here. And this is a giant freaking dollhouse, as you guys can see. Now, I grab it whenever it's reasonably priced. I paid $6, I think, for it. I don't even know. I'm price tags probably off of it because it's about to get listed. And I don't think I got it up yet. I kind of like come bring everything in and like I have a little system, and it's in a pile of ready to be listed system, but I'm probably going to list it for $400 since my shipping's $12 flat rate for everything. And even when I sell larger things like this, I do flat rate $12 for it. And for the most part, obviously, if it's bigger than me, I'm not gonna buy it. But you ought to watch it because your eyes can get bigger than your head sometimes. And I once was clearing out of states, and I had the mentality that everything was free. And I took on this giant Oriental rug, threw it on eBay, sold it. It was like a 3-piece. I sold for like $2,000, and I had no idea how to ship it. I ended up refunding them. I was. That was one of the most foolish things I ever did on eBay. After it sold, I was like so happy, but then I'm like, well, what do I do? I started looking at freight forwarders and things like that, talking about getting pallets and strapping it down. And I'm like, I'm not doing that. I'm just some city dude from Pittsburgh, man. I wasn't thinking anything like that. Whenever I came into it, I was thinking it was free. It's one of those times where like, I got to learn something over and over because I still obviously buy large things that most people would pass, which is probably why I find some of them. Other resellers pass it. Hey, I'm cool with it if it's going to give me a few $100s. Speaking of which, my weekend sales. So I've had a slow few weeks. It's weird. The beginning of January was probably busier than a lot of people online complained that it was slow on January. I was crushing it at the beginning of January. Whenever I say crushing it, I mean minimum 24 item weekends, like, averages thousands of dollars. Like this weekend, I had 9 items, sold $934, very slow. I have 400 of that wrapped up in 2 items. So one of them being that mirror I was showing off earlier, and I have a giant bun coffee maker sitting to my left here. It's smaller than the dollhouse, but a lot heavier, which also sold for $220. So that's like, the way I've been trying to run my model personally is that I want to have the least amount of work to do as possible, so I can spend more time with my daughter and just even doing social things like being able to do these lives, being able to share my knowledge and what I know and all those things. So I try to go with, I guess I've been a full-time reseller 5 years now. And, at the beginning, I sold anything and everything, small, big, didn't matter. For a while, I sold clothes for a while too. I didn't know nothing about it. And it was one of my first ever, when I first ventured into, reselling secondhand goods, which when I say I'm a 20-year seller, like I sold on eBay in 2007 for quite a few years. I was top rated, back in those days as well. They had a different ranking system for all that. But I was primarily selling DVDs and things that I had at my house. I wasn't always reselling things that were secondhand, just kind of my own personal stuff. But I've been familiar with the platform for a long time. But myself as a full-time thrifter, reseller, and I primarily thrift. There was a point in time where I worked at it's about a year and a half ago, 2 years ago. I volunteered a little over 2 years ago. It was for estate sales, to basically work for free. I didn't volunteer. They paid me, but they paid me way less than I should have made. And they're a shifty company, but I pretty much worked for them just to kind of get the information at the beginning, which I know a couple other people I talk to on a regular basis on Facebook here were recently into doing estate cleanouts and things like that. And, when you can get your stuff cheap, it's really, that's kind of like what I got into for like the first couple of years of this was, and when I did the thrifting thing, I guess I was still pretty new, over the years, you just develop more and more of a, eye for it. Me personally, I've always been a thrifter. Yes, solid logic for sure. You told me about your little horror story recently with them people. That's what I mean. There's a whole different world out there on the other side of what happens, after these estate sale. I mean, I like going there and sourcing, but I mean, some of these companies take advantage of these older folks, and it's really sad. Families that have situations, what I mean, like, and you got to deal with it in the first place, and you got companies that come in and treat your stuff disrespectfully and whatnot, but that's neither here nor there. So I didn't source as much as I really wanted to this weekend. So it says bring them on camera. I don't know what they're asking for all my sales that I have over. So the other sale that I had over the weekend that I really would talk about would be the bun. And this is it should have been shipped today. So like, I gotta say, like this one in the mirrors. So the reason I still have those in my possession is because when it's larger things like that, I'm all at I guess I want to make the shipping perfectly, and fragile things, like the round mirror, $230. That's if that breaks, I'm not trying to deal with that refund, even though I'm in it for like $5 or $6. That's what I'm not trying to have. So whenever I get like large sales, I try to pack everything good, but like obviously these things are gonna get a little extra special care. I'm gonna go to probably Lowe's tomorrow, pick up some extra shipping supplies, especially for the mirror. That would be it would be a tragedy. Anyone that's just joining this mirror, I was just highlighting this, something that I picked up about 10 days. It's been listed. I sold it for $230 plus shipping. Pretty sweet buy. But so that's just some of the stuff that I got going on there. So like I said last week, oh yeah, Thrifty 150 ICU, yeah. So that's definitely something I'm going to start doing, recording that as well. A couple things I'm going to be getting into this summer. I talked to my friend Resell Logic, who'll be joining me on Wednesday. But I talked to him about it recently. But I mean, I got into estate sale cleanouts before, and before my situation where like I had to move a whole bunch, and now I'm in West Virginia. Like I was really like on the break of something. Thank you. I was really on the break of something big there, you know what I mean? I guess is what I'm trying to say. Like I felt like I was on a borderline. I was doing storage cleanouts. I had estate sale cleanouts lined up. I was launching a company. Big things were moving, but maybe they were moving too fast for me. You know what I mean? Sometimes you got to step back, and I'm the kind of person that would just keep pushing and pushing until, you know what I mean? Maybe I just wasn't prepared for it at the time, where I'm at now. Over the last couple of years, like even moving as much, like I'm in a better position now in this place to do this where I'm at. I got this is kind of like my office area. This is where I list here. My little collections of things that I like. And out there's the stock room. And this is kind of like, I'm in the process of redoing that right now because I just came into some really big shelves. I'm always looking for shelves. Something whenever you're doing this, like I'm trying to build a stock room in the basement, and I guess that's what I was getting to for my ventures here that I'm going to be reigniting since that I got the space back and the time again. Not only want to be doing that, I'm going to be doing more content, which making the content obviously is going to be a big leg of what I'm doing, trying to share what I have personally learned. 5 years full time. I haven't went back. I seen a buddy of mine join. I don't know if he's still in there, but Snoopy, he somebody that I worked with at Wahlburgers, and I was the general manager. He was my top line cook there, and it's crazy when I look back at all the places that I worked and people I know and my friends, because the people that don't know, this is my personal, yeah, that's right. Yeah, this is my personal Facebook that I turned into my business profile. So, when I see people like that jump in, I love that, because that means a lot to me, man. Appreciate you stopping by. But, he's somebody that I trusted and worked, over a good couple of years with. He's my right-hand man there, and appreciate you showing up. But, someone like me, what I mean, can do that. And he's one of the biggest hustlers I know, too. And it's like, you can go out there and you can do these things, not only sharing them, big love, bro, but not only sharing them to others, You know what I mean? Y'all can learn something from this, and on top of that, the content part of it, we all can make money. There's enough room out here for all of us to eat, and that's the thing. There's so much negativity out there, so much drama out there. You know, you look, I mean, dude, where I live right now, Snoopy's crazy because the news is so boring here. I turn in the Pittsburgh news. Hey, mom, what's up? You know, the news, I watch Pittsburgh's replay every morning, WTAT or WPXI, because it's this boring news. I'm so used to city life, and there's nothing that happens on the news out here. You know, I still look to see, because I've still be knowing crazy people in the city that stuff happens to. I've only been away for a little bit, you know. You take people like us, you know what I mean, out of the city, you got to watch out, man. It's boring out here. Ain't the same, but it's definitely a piece that I needed as well. You know, it was, different kind of I guess peace I needed. And you know, when living in Pittsburgh my whole life, it was always crazy. Out here I got a little bit more land and certainly more peace. This whole city shuts down at like 8 o'clock. If you're outside after 8 o'clock, you could probably expect to get pulled over. I already have a couple times. It's crazy. So, you know, I just got some notes here. Nothing. I pretty much was trying to run on a loose thing. I took notes down with my dollar amount. So, I don't even know how this live works. So I definitely see the comments. This is my first live. Like I said, guys, I want to go live 3 days a week guaranteed on here. I got almost 14,000 followers. I'm like right at the teetering mark on that on TikTok. So I'm going to start trying to get a little bit more in on there as well. Try to tie it all together. Because not only could I teach something valuable, you know, I could bring positivity, and that's just something that's lacking out here. When you look at the reseller, not even reselling world, but just people out here in general, so much drama, and it just takes zero energy. It takes zero effort to be a nice dude. There's too much drama out there in the world. You know, I just don't get it, but it is what it is, you know. So I guess, you know, Wednesday is going to be, from the bottom, and it's going to be me and Jorge, aka Resell Logic. We're going to be, kind of chatting. I usually talk to him a couple times a week anyway on the phone. We have some good friends. He's one of my, admins up in the Resellers Unite group, which if you're not a member of that right now, that's, it's one of the, seriously, I mean, you can't say it's not one of the most positive groups out there for sure. But, you know, we're going to kind of chat and touch base on some stuff. We always have really good conversations, so I'm looking forward to sharing that with you guys. And then Fridays, I'm going to start trying to do a little session with, you know, whoever, you know. Facebook always, you know, it's crazy because there's always, you know, the content creation side of things. Like, I never paid attention to none of those, I guess goals that some of the pages get, because I'm technically a profile, so I never really paid attention to some of the goals. I mean, I've probably seen them years ago whenever I was still running under the same profile, but you know, they make it so it's complicated, you know, and then you do things that they suggest, and they either shoot you in the foot or don't work at all. So, you know, I kind of been chasing those kind of things, and none of that stuff works, you know. So going lives is something that I've wanted to do, and I certainly wasn't looking to charge either, you know. That's the whole thing. I mean, everything I've learned out here has been from you know, watching videos like Thrift and Treasure, Bearded Thrifter, some of the big people that I started watching years ago when I was still freaking cooking with Snoopy at Wahlburgers, you know. I started watching these guys' videos and started messing around a little bit, and see, when I started, there was like, the prices were way cheaper then. So like, you can go to thrifts and still get, you know, $2, $1 hits that were huge. And now it's like, I mean, I keep a budget of like $5 to $7. If it's like more than $7, it needs to be a few $100s for me to even buy it, because I'm not trying to sit there and spend money and lose it, you know. And you can lose money in this business if you don't pay attention to what you're doing. That's something that doesn't get talked about enough. You know, people like to give bad advice. People like to share things without giving full context of it, you know, and how long these items can potentially sit at your house for if you're not careful with learning the sell-through rate, you know. When I first started reselling, I wasn't, math was my worst subject in school, you know, so it makes perfect sense that it's my daughter's worst subject too. But for me, I just struggled with it. So I developed my own way to understand what the sell-through rate was. And it took a little bit of trial and error, bumping my head a couple of times, figuring out what worked. And now I got a pretty clear picture. So when I look at it, like, I break it down like a graph in my head, you know, how many am I seeing and how many have sold pretty much like that, and just kind of come to a quick decision. And I usually make the decision within seconds. I don't research very long. I make a fast decision. That way it's not something that I think really long and kind of linger on and kind of roll with it from there. I certainly get regret. I think about things all the time. I think about stuff I left just today, you know, and then I think about the things like that picture that I almost talked myself out of because of the damage to the frame, and I'm like, there's no way, because that picture was way too cool to pass up, you know. Definitely. Appreciate you, Transform Vintage. I see you over there. Thank you. Thank you, guys. I appreciate all you that showed up, comments. You know, it's meant a lot to me because it's my first time going live. So, like, y'all showing up for me was huge. You know, it's definitely, it's nerve-wracking. You know, I talk fast on a good day. So, if you guys were able to keep up with me, you know, Snoopy's a pro at it, so I'm sure he was all right, you know. But you guys, you know, you guys have to get used to me because you're going to be seeing more and more of me. Yeah, I don't know. With that being said, it's 7:26. I'm going to open up the floor. If you guys got anything you want to share in the comments, I'll check them out and I'll comment on it. Otherwise, we could wrap it up, and I'll be back on Wednesday night. Oh, I see you, Thrift Around and Find Out. Thank you, Thrift Around and Find Out. Somebody, she's a really cool person I met locally out here. Weirton's been really welcoming since I've been here. You know, Weirton, Wintersville, those are my primary spots now. You know, I'm never, I mean, I'm in Pittsburgh, but, you know, it's not like I used to be. That's one thing I definitely took for granted that I was saying, you know what I mean? I for sure, red, white, and blue. Anyone that knows the area knows red, white, and blue is like it's like where it's at. So that was my bread and butter for years. And what's up, Steven? Thank you, bro. I appreciate you, man. Appreciate you. But red, white, and blue is my spot for years. You know what I mean? And I lived like up the street from it for my whole life since I was a kid. So whenever I moved, it wasn't like I wasn't thinking it was a big deal, but that was like probably a good 75% of my sales were coming through there. That's where I was getting all my good stuff at. Then where I'm at now, I mean, like, I'm surprised I found that picture today. That was a miracle to me because it was the Goodwill in Weirton is hit or miss. Well, some days it's good, some days it's not. More often than not, I end up having to talk to management or something, which I would recommend y'all, you know what I mean, that are out there thrifting every day. I know some of them. Some of the Goodwills, like the one out here, got a reseller manager, and she just doesn't put no good stuff out. It's all broken shit. But then I go to the place up the street, and the guy's super cool, welcomes resellers, gives good deals whenever you ask, you know what I mean? Like if you're buying a whole bunch of stuff, you know, so like, I go in and I usually buy a cart full. So like they're willing to work with you when you do that, I guess. But I mean, I've never really been turned down, you know what I mean? A couple times, and it's usually more like I get a little bit less, you know what I mean? And not necessarily turned down, but, definitely recommend it. It's similar to garage selling, which I can't wait for. I hope you guys are excited like I am. I tell you what, this winter's been depressing. And I'm not one to say like, you know, seasonal depression every year doesn't always get me. This year's worse than we have. Maybe it's being in the new area, but it's been, hey, thrifting flips. What's up? I see you. This year's been harder than usual for sure. You know what I mean? It's, for me being in the new area, and it gets, like I said, so quiet at like 8 p.m. here. Thrifty Pickers, what's happening? I see you. Thank you for showing up. I appreciate you. Yeah, it's been an adjustment, you know, getting used to the area. A couple of local people I met have been pretty cool, but like other than that, that's what I said, Thrift Around and Find Out. I had a couple other people recognize me locally at you know, up in Wintersville, which I thought was super cool. They could recognize from my accent, you know what I mean? My accent definitely gives me away. Probably you guys are probably hearing it too. I don't think I have one. It's crazy, but whenever I watch this later and chop it up in a few reels, it's gonna definitely. I'm gonna be cringing. It's that Southwest Pittsburgh accent. You don't hear yins that much though. People out here don't know what that means, so I've kind of like trained myself to not say it as much. Just like online, a lot of people were asking me what's yins. So I try to start saying y'all a little bit more, but it still comes out. But it's the same thing basically. You know, but I appreciate everybody stopping by. I really do. It meant a lot being my first live. So that one too. Yeah, your accent. Yeah, I was gonna say. I don't know. It's so apparent in like certain places like Boston and New York, and you don't really think of Pittsburgh. I never thought of it. You know, it's the way I say my O's and things like that. I've always been told that. Even when I went to rehabs, after even in jail, like with different people from different areas, whenever I was messing up really bad, they said I sounded like I was a country boy, and I just really never heard it. See, I know Thrifty Pickers, you do. I hear it in your videos all the time. I can definitely tell. Definitely got the Midwest accent. It's a thing for sure. That and the pizza. That's one other thing. That's a thing out here is it's crazy because growing up in Pittsburgh, there was this place in Allentown, Beltsuver, and I don't know, yeah, like it was really ghetto growing up, and these pizza shops aren't even there. But there's this couple of DeCarlo pizza shops in Pittsburgh, and I remember them for their pizza, and there's a couple of them out here, and there's a few out here, and they have this thing in Ohio Valley where it's like cold cheese on the pizza, cold cheese and toppings, and it's a really big thing. And I forgot like all about it until I moved back out, and when I moved out here to West Virginia, and it's like a thing everywhere. It's like, dude, their gourmet pizzas like Little Caesars, and then after that they got this cold cheese pizza, which is cool for like a reminiscing, I miss my old city type thing, but whenever I'm trying to enjoy some pizza, pisses me off. Probably get my live shut down for saying that, but I'm trying to watch the language, New York and Boston sound rude, but it's just tone deaf. Yeah, New York and Boston can sound rude for sure, but I think everybody has a unique accent. Even people from like, southern states, you can just tell. It's pretty cool though. It's like an easy identifiable thing, But I hope you guys are able to understand it at least. But and I hope you guys have got at least something out of the live. I don't know how. I'm still learning how all this works, so I'm able to see the comments and I'm watching them, but I also am not sure how to do anything else on here. I'm still figuring it all out, man. I'm old, like I said, so you have to bear with me on this content thing, but it's coming one way or another. So I guess with that being said, it's 7:30. So I was planning on going for about a half hour, 35 minutes. I wasn't trying to kill it. I'm glad I got to chill with you guys, and I hope you guys come back, next Monday for sure on Motion Mondays. Like I said, it's a whole thing that started, more so to motivate myself. I'm a procrastinator at nature, which is really hard to be a procrastinator in this business. You know what I mean? And, if you're going to procrastinate, you're not going to get much done, so like, that's me, trying to get my motion moving as well for the week, and also try to share with you guys and kind of just touch in and see what's going on. I appreciate all of you and stuff, every one of you guys. Hey, Matt Thrifter, what's up? I see you. I appreciate all of you, that react to my content and keep me going. Steven, man, nothing but love, bro. I would say you're one of the people. You're right up there. If it wasn't for you, I wouldn't even be doing this, man. It's crazy to think. I think it was like last summer towards the end of it, you know what I mean? I could have never thought in a million years, man, when you started like giving me a little bit of likes and attention on my page, that a year later I'd be going live. You know what I mean? And this reselling thing would have blown up the way it has, and I would have been part of such an awesome community, that's really kind of welcomed me and pulled me in general, through and through. You can talk what you want about the bad seeds out there, but I'll tell you what, man, talk is one thing, but there's more good out here. I believe that, there's so much positivity out here, and the Midwest accent, yes. But yeah, there's just so much positivity that could be shared out there, and a lot of you guys are really good at, showing up for one another, and you guys showed up for me tonight, so it just proves it right there, So, with that being said, that's going to be it for tonight. I'll get my daughter, make sure she gets a shower. Haley, you want to come say hi? Haley, come here. I will make her get on camera.
Alright.
Get on camera, say hi.
Hi. Okay, bye.
Bye. Yeah, that's, she was going to go take a shower, so bedtime for her. And I got work to do. I got stuff to list, and I got stuff to ship. The things that I'm late on have to be out first thing in the morning, and that's law. That's just the way it's got to be. So appreciate all of you, and I'll hopefully catch you guys on Wednesday. And Jorge, if you're still there, bro, I'll be talking to you. See you guys later.